and the forest seemed to guide him there. Inside, the walls were carved with spirals, faces, and tall, thin shapes. An entire gallery of observation, documentation, and warning. The Watcher had left records of its presence, a library of shadows etched into wood and bark. He realized then that he could not leave the forest, not entirely. Even if he escaped physically, part of the Watcher's reach was now within him, etched into his psyche, his reflexes, his perception. Survival would be a matter of careful navigation, constant awareness, and acceptance of the mountain's eyes forever watching. Ethan stayed in the abandoned cabin until nightfall, pacing the creaking floorboards, eyes fixed on the carved spirals and hollow faces etched into the walls. Some of the carvings were crude, others meticulous, showing elongated figures resembling humans yet twisted, unnatural. Each seemed to observe him. He could feel the forest's attention, heavier now, more direct, as though the Watcher itself had entered the cabin alongside him. He had tried to rationalize it. Perhaps the carvings were left by previous hikers, an eccentric hermit, or a forgotten forest cult. But the spirals burned faintly under his fingertips, leaving impressions like the memory of pain, and the carved faces seemed to tilt toward him, adjusting to his movements. By dawn, Ethan realized he could not escape the cabin. Every path he had taken to reach it had twisted unnaturally, returning him to the clearing repeatedly, the trees reshaping themselves subtly yet insistently. The forest had folded space, guiding him to this point. The Watcher had orchestrated everything. He had heard of Appalachian forest spirits in old journals, whispers of entities that observed trespassers with unblinking patience. Names varied: wood guardians, shadow watchers, but the stories converged on a single truth. The forest did not chase. It marked, it molded, it waited. And those marked carried its influence forever. Ethan sat by a corner of the cabin, head in his hands, listening. The silence was heavy, alive, as if it breathed with a purpose. Then he heard it, a soft, rhythmic tapping. Not from outside but inside the cabin itself. Tap, tap, tap. He froze. The sound seemed to echo from the walls, the floors, even beneath the wooden ceiling. And then he noticed it. Small spirals beginning to form along his arms, faint at first, glowing slightly under the dim morning light filtering through the broken windows. Pain accompanied it, sharp and fleeting, like needles pressing just under the skin. Ethan realized the truth. He was being marked, not just observed, not just influenced. The Watcher had begun